Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm writing to What If I Forgot About My Previous Lives with subtitles from Tsem. So I think like 99.999% of people, I'm sure, actually probably higher than that, but don't really remember their previous lives. Now, again, this goes back to, I guess, which Eastern philosophy or way of life you're following. I do, I still don't know too much about Buddhism, but I do believe everything that you are in Buddhism is transferred to the next body. I believe. I do believe maybe your memories too. I can't. Again, I'm not sure. In terms of Advaita Vedanta, though, nothing should follow, honestly. But yet there is reincarnations and the belief of remembering your past lives. But none of that should transfer because the only thing that's ever transferred to the new body is just consciousness. Because when a baby is born, it's just consciousness being born, and none of the karma, none of anything is ever transferred. If I'm understanding it correctly, because pure consciousness itself is pure. It is unaffected by your memories, your karma, anything really, anything in samsara, anything in the Maya. It is whatever happens in this body will die with this body. The only thing that will exist after this body is pure consciousness, consciousness itself. So it's kind of weird to say then that we remember our past lives. This is something I really do want to discuss in one of the members only video. But anyways, that's not the point right now. Now, I don't know how Buddhism works. I remember something along those lines, but let's go and get this video started.
If it's a cycle that continues and we can help improve, what's the point of all this?
To liberate and benefit others, to bring others out of this, because it isn't just us. I know. And also, the amount of beings that are suffering, the amount of beings who have to go through the cycle are endless.
How many times am I going to reincarnate?
That's up to you.
Reincarnating? Okay. Where am I going like this? And especially if every time I forget what I did before and I have to learn all over again.
No, you forgot.
What if in my next lifetime I don't meet you?
You forgot. Not everybody forgot. You forgot. Not everybody forgot. Don't be presumptuous. Not everybody forgot what they did.
I mean, fair enough. You should speak for yourself, absolutely. Now, even then, I would say that I would assume this, that all the merits that you have accumulated from your previous lives will be transferred to your current life. So it's not like it's all gone and lost. But yes, the teachings that has been taught to you probably will be lost. Not really, but will be lost because you just don't remember. But if you are able to remember your past lives, then at that point you can bring back all those teachings. So it's not necessarily lost, it's just that you don't remember. I think.
What you ate and what you dressed and where you swam is not important to remember. Therefore, our mind doesn't remember. The qualities we develop from our previous lives that are very beneficial to ourselves and others, we never forget. Never. Hence, some people are born immediately doing charity. Hence, some people are born immediately to become a monk or a nun. Hence, some people born immediately, they start helping other people. So, the small things that you've forgotten in your previous life, you may have forgotten. Not everybody has forgotten. Why have you forgotten it? Because, let me explain. Everything that you have experienced, touching, taste, feeling, cold, heat, is associated with your gross mind. The gross mind only exists on the basis of your body, as I explained before. So when it exists on the basis of your body, when the body dissolves, the gross mind dissolves back into the subtle mind. So the subtle mind will remember things associated with the attainments of the subtle mind, such as compassion, such as incredible memory, such as very sharp, clear wisdom. Those things can be developed. If we develop eating and sleeping and making money and having kids and making clothes and making houses, if we develop that, that will be forgotten. Why? Those are actions associated with only the aggregates that dissolve at the time of death. Example, you may not have, if you're a carpenter and you built a house 50 years ago, you may not remember the exact hammer, the size, the color, and all the tools you use. Why? That's not important, but you'll remember how to build a house. But the tools you will not. Therefore, these experiences that you have that you claim you have forgotten are things actually not forgotten. By meditation, you will remember. Example. Today is what day?
Friday.
Last Wednesday for lunch, what did you have? Tell me now. But you did have lunch, correct? But if we calm down and we retract and we ask your husband, can't you remember? Yes, of course you can eventually. You say, oh yeah, I was at home and I probably made a sandwich, or I went out with friends. Oh yeah, I went to that restaurant. Oh, I had my favorite food. You see, if I go like this to you, you know, like that, and I throw things at you, of course you'd be like, I can't remember. But if we calm down and we breathe and we recall, you'll remember. If you can remember last Wednesday, you can remember 10 years ago. If you can remember 10 years ago, you can remember 50 years ago. If you can remember 50 years ago, you can remember your previous life. It's a matter of practice. Hence, past life regression and Western therapy work.
Hold on. You said Western therapy work? I mean, yes, Western therapy does work. There are, maybe, like, I believe it's like hypnosis a little bit. It's really strange. One of my favorite shows, and I highly advise people to watch this. It's really interesting. It's just really a fun show called Mythbusters. It's on YouTube, and what all they do is just bust myth. And one of the myths that kind of brings this up is the sheer fact that they had a test where their people were working, right? But they hired actors to go and deliver something to these workers, and these workers didn't know. They're part of the show, but they didn't. They were part of this experiment, which was, can they remember anything of what happened during this fake incident? And so what ended up, something happened, and they were all a bit surprised, like, what's going on here? And then they took them, I can't remember how long they waited until they took them back. Then they asked them questions, like, hey, do you remember any of these details? And they wrote down certain details, some of them wrong, some of them right. But then you got someone to put them in a hypnosis. I don't know if whether it's just they got them to relax, breathe calmly, and all of a sudden they start remembering a lot more things. So it was very, again, there's just a whole bunch of different kind of myth stuff, and I absolutely love the show just because it's scientific to some degree, but fun, and the characters are great. And you're myth busting. That's how I learned also that if you have a white car versus a darker colored car, your car will not be as hot. So good hints on that one. But interesting, does Western therapy work for regressions? It does, but I would assume that's limited to this life, though. And I would assume Eastern philosophies or ways of life would be more of the past life, not Western philosophy. That would be really weird if Western philosophy was to go to the past life. There might be some people who believe in that and may be able to, but I doubt it. It's really interesting. He said Western therapy, though.
Life regression and Western therapy work. It's accepted. Why? All memories are embedded. All memories are stored. It's whether we have developed the tools to remember or to be able to remember. So if we have not used our lives to develop that mental tool, we will not remember. We'll definitely not remember. But that does not mean that everybody doesn't remember, or everybody has short-term or long-term memory spells that they can't remember things. Definitely not. There are people with very short memory because they exercise that part of their mind.
I guess a great example would be they are considered child prodigies who are like 4 or 6 years old that are playing the violin as though they've mastered it or played it their entire lives. That could be a potentially good argument for that, because it's kind of crazy, but at the same time, skeptics, which would be me, can, these are rare, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's really weird.
Their mind. Most important is the settling of the mind and the attitude of the mind. Why? Because from mind everything arises. All actions, all conflict, all good, all bad. all arises from the mind. So it's very important. We cannot deceive the mind. We cannot deceive our mind if we don't change our mind and hope that outer peace or outer happiness happens. If we don't create inner peace, outer peace is not possible. So therefore, Buddhism focuses on the mind. That's why in the history of Buddhism, there's never been a war in the name of Buddha for 2,500 years. Ever. Ever. Never. In the name of Buddha, war against another country or nation in the name of Buddha, or they're wrong and we're going to get them and we need to convert them to Buddhism. Never in the history of Buddhism for 2,500 years. That's one. That is a very good reputation to go on. That's why Buddhists focus on the mind. Therefore, you see Buddhist countries or Buddhist people or Buddhist practitioners in general, on a whole, not individually, are more peaceful, are more quiet, are more accepting, are more giving. Why? Because they focus on the mind. So therefore, any religion that teaches you to accept responsibility, to look in, and to not bring harm to others for your problems.
Really weird he says religion there, very specific. I don't think he meant that specifically. It's almost as though he considers Buddhism a religion, I suppose, maybe? And perhaps Hinduism itself in general as well. Obviously, there are many deities in Hinduism, but Hinduism is a very encompassing word, I believe, in terms of like, the many different religions underneath it. Buddhism is one of them. Sikhism, I think. Anyways, and then Advaita Vedanta also is underneath Hinduism, which I do not believe it to be a religion. So perhaps more meaning like, Eastern philosophy or perhaps Indian philosophy, which would include religion in it too, or ways of life probably.
And it benefits you and it helps you change your mind that religion is acceptable. So hence, if we find solace in Islam or Christianity or Judaism or Hinduism or Shintoism or Sikhism, and it helps us to change our mind, and that is fine. You see, there's not really a big problem with the world religions. It's the misinterpretation and using it for secular purposes.
Ooh.
That creates a problem. Why? Because we have nasty Buddhists. I've met very nasty Buddhists. Oh, I'm a Buddhist, I pray, I offer incense to Kuan Yin, but they're very nasty, very sneaky, very undercutting. I've met them.
Secularism,
So that's not Buddhism, that's them. That's them not studying Buddhism and applying it. So I've met very wonderful Muslims. When I was in India, I met wonderful Muslims from Iraq who stay there, who marry Indian ladies. And they're my good friends. So it's not which religion is right or which religion is good. It's which religion suits us. How do we know if a religion suits us? That when we've adopted that religion and we see a fundamental change in our attitude, then we know that one suits us. So if we were to say this religion is the best and that one's not good, that's wrong. We can debate. Who's greater? Mother Teresa or the Dalai Lama? There's no debate. But they're from different religions. Why do they both have very kind hearts and kind minds and peaceful attitudes and never bring harm to others or inflict or incite harm to others? Why? Because they have practiced their religion correctly. So when you get Mother Teresa and you get, Dalai Lama in one room, you're all. So that's why I say the debate here is not what religion is very good or which one is correct. But the debate here is which one you find the theory and philosophy matching to you and your lifestyle so that it can create a fundamental change. Because at the time of death, no matter what, it's the same. The process is all the same. Whether you believe or you don't believe, it's the same. In some countries, they believe that stealing is very good. In majority of countries, they believe that stealing is not good. But the fundamental fact is when you take things away that doesn't belong to you, you create pain. That pain is not good. It's very logical, very simple. So if you were to go to areas that believe in stealing, and they say what's wrong, you can get killed for it, for upsetting them. But that doesn't mean they're right or wrong. So my point is that when you ask me from those religions that I've come from in those countries, I've examined, Not thoroughly, but I've examined, I've listened. Sunday morning, all the time, 6, 7 a.m. Have you heard about God? But I open my door wider to let them see my altar. Yes, I have. Thank you. And they keep talking. Yes, because my door is directly to where my altar is, where my Buddha is. I open, they look at it, they go, oh, we need to talk to you more. And I said, yeah, we can talk. And sometimes I debate with them to the point that they can't talk anymore. Not argue, I debate. Because those type of people that run around forcing their religion down your throats are people who are insecure. Why? They need a cover for the things that's not going right to justify. That's not religion. These people run around converting, forcing, telling you that everything is wrong except for their faith or what they're doing. No, that's insecurity. Why is that insecurity? They are not successful in something, or they're not good in something, or they're doing something wrong, they want to cover, they want to justify. That's not religion. So in every religion, and I'm not being generous.
Real quick, with that last statement about they're insecure, well, it teaches them that in their Bible, I believe, it is part of their duty to do that, to convert as many people to their religion as possible. So if they're being good to their religion, they're doing that, you know. So I guess, mind you, the key word, they're forcing their religion down your throat. Now, them going door to door trying to convert you, so long as you do it peacefully, nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. I believe most religions do that. But when they say, I believe there is a way of, like, you don't go to someone's house and say, oh yeah, all the other religions are garbage. They're all wrong. Our religion's the only right one. If they start trash talking other religion, that's insecurity. But if they go in there and say, we this is our religion. We believe this religion to be the right one, and these are the reasons why. But they don't say anything about other religions because, well, I'm sorry, I can't talk about that. It's not my religion. I don't know anything about it. I know about this religion. I believe this to be the correct religion. That's a different story. Peaceful, not shoving it down your throat, trying to genuinely convert you over. If they bug the crap out of you, that's again insecurity. If as long as they, talk to you and you're willing, nothing wrong.
In every religion, you have nasty people, you have very good people. So what does that tell us logically? If we think about it, that we need to pick a religion that fits us. Hence, Buddhism doesn't have missionaries. But Buddhism is the fastest growing religion in the world. It has no missionaries. It's the fastest in America. It has 0 missionaries. Doesn't open up schools. Doesn't do anything to get adherence. Why? As the world becomes more tumultuous and technology grows, inner peace and inner unhappiness is a sin. Inner unhappiness is still there. So people look for something deeper. So therefore, my opinion of world religion is just that. You pick the one that suits you and don't criticize others. Why? If you criticize, that means from that religion, they've never produced anyone that benefits others. That's not true. That's not true. We cannot make sweeping statements about other people. And if we do say that, and it's not true, we hurt many people. And hence, wars, factions, fighting, sectarianism, we have to contribute in not doing that. So I can't save the world, but maybe I can help the world by expressing what I just shared with all of you. And then you guys express it, and you guys think it, and it spreads that way.
Okay. A topic that I definitely need to write down, and kind of have a discussion with. What if I forgot about my previous lives? So, anyways, that's my reaction to what if I forgot about my previous lives with Tsem. Very interesting, and that lady was very adamant about talking. I mean, I get it. She needed to make sure that she said her point first and foremost, and I get that. But it seemed to, I don't know. Anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.